met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. Blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Such sights to show you. We'll tear your soul apart.
Hey, this is Tom Atkins. Thrill me. You're watching Death Curse Society. See ya, man. Thrill me.
Rock and roll!
Just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Welcome, everybody, to Monday Maniacs and Death Curse Society. I'm Red Crank. I got the Colonel and I got Zigzag. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Stuffy.
Yeah. Colonel's got the allergies going on in Cincinnati area. You got high temperatures, low temperatures. Is that what you're just swinging back?
It can't make its fucking mind up.
I sent you that one that I had the other day in Oklahoma where it was like a low of 24 and then a high of 90 in like 14-hour period.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. We started as a gradual climb to the 80s by this weekend, but it's just going to drop back out again. I can't keep doing this shit.
Yeah.
And the amount of pollen on my fucking car every morning.
Find you some of that allergy medicine. I can't even.
I think I took
Brand
that shit
name right
so
now.
often over the years. I built up natural immunity to it. So I'm trying to cut myself off for a while and start taking it again. Well, I've never done this spray stuff, but I'll be honest. I'm a bit of a wuss. I don't like that. I'd rather just take a pill.
That's kind of a weird, like the stuff you spray your nose.
Yeah,
I never got
into
into
that.
Yeah.
Weird to me.
You walk around, you look like you got a coke habit when you're using that kind of shit, man. Yeah. Non-stop, too. I've seen people use that shit, you know, and it's just, I don't know. I've tried it. I just go with the Claritin and call it.
Claritin. That was a brand name I was trying to think of.
It's the only one I
Brand
fucking
name for suckers.
Sponsored by Claritin.
Oh man, yeah, we're all kind of just in a mood. You know, none of us are really feeling all that great today. I don't know. This Monday really hit us. But
Well,
the gang's all here. Tyrone's here. Adam's here. Let's see. James is here. He's ready to get in on this action. That's right.
Oh, yeah. I expect James to have some very obscure, pretty cool fucking answers tonight.
Oh
Yeah.
God, he's gonna have this topic tonight could it's gonna be from everyone that puts a list in tonight that all the possible films could possibly be different on everybody's fucking list all the way around. You guys, us, everything. It's that wide open, and really pissed me off, to be honest.
We'll get into your rant later.
Yeah.
We're gonna save that for a little bit.
God damn you guys.
Adam says he's ready to do this. Thanks for coming in, Adam. Patricia says, That's
ladies
right.
and gentlemen, Y&O.
Just once. Just once. I want that dude in the back to fucking sucker punch him.
Just come running up and clothesline him from behind.
Never going to happen. But fuck. Like,
I wish we could edit that.
No.
Stacy Lynn says she is doing math algebra homework and watching. Anyone good at it? We're not going to be able to help you with that shit. Look at us.
Kidding.
We're not math people.
Letters. Yep.
definitely not me.
X is greater than Y and Z.
Tanya says the best part about Monday has finally arrived. Excellent. Luke is here.
She said Monday has arrived. And
That is right.
Today is Monday.
As a matter of fact, it was.
It was. Today was a Monday, actually.
It is.
I don't complain about Mondays very often, but
Just today. Well, I just did that Easter fundraiser this weekend, man, and I am, you know what I mean. It was all outside. It was fucking fucked up, cold and windy the whole time. It never got above, I don't know. I think 45 the whole fucking time we were here standing out, and a direct headwind coming at us. Excellent. So yeah,
you
I'm a
were
little bit.
outside all weekend.
I'm a little disheveled today. I got a little headache, but it's hey, nothing's gonna stop me from attending Monday, man. Fuck, I love it. We show up all tattered and battered, but we're fucking here, man.
99% of the time.
Yeah. S. Michael says, I like this equation. E equals MC Hammer.
Hey, that's the report that the guy had in Beer Fest. E
Can't
equals
touch that.
MC Hammered. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
That was the best.
I do.
Yeah. Can't touch that.
Probably my favorite Broken Lizard movie.
Yes. It is the
Oh,
finest.
man. Guys, later on, we are going to be joined by Cory Holliday from Vile Consumption. He's an artist that travels around to many of these cons. If you've been to a con, you've probably seen his work.
Yeah.
You've probably bought some of his work.
Yeah.
We've all bought some of his stuff. I believe it's on some of the sets behind us that you can see. And yeah, good guy. We're going to have him in. We're going to talk about top 5 horror posters of all time.
You think that would be nice and easy? You think it would be
No.
just, 5 posters? No problem. No problem.
No.
Fuck this. This was the going only with 5. We didn't even do the honorable mentions because we wanted to kind of move it along, having Cory on tonight too. But
Right.
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, this was a pain in the ass.
That's an
But-
understatement.
We're there now. We're there now. When did you tell Cory to join us? 15
About
after?
8:15. I said anytime after 8:15. He could pop in and we'll bring him on and stuff. So
Sounds good.
He was getting out of work and had to, dinner and all that shit. So before he could get on.
Right. Well, let me run through the thanks. And I want to say thank you to our members. These are people that have followed us for a little while, joined us on the website at deathcursesociety.com, where you can too. Check out deathcursesociety.com, go to the join section, and check out what you're able to do. There's different tiers, different, I don't want to say prize level, perk levels, I guess. You could say.
It's benefits.
A lot like Patreon. And special thanks to our final girls and guys, Corey, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, S. Michael, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone. And then, of course, to our crazy Ralphs, Angelo and Raymond, and our camp counselors, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave.
You are all... Wait.
You are all my children now.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also want to mention Vincent. Congratulations to Vincent DeSanti surpassing his early goal. And
if nothing else, required an applause. Seriously, come on, no. That I didn't know he was going to drop that, but that is huge news that he got that cash, and he exceeded the goal a bit. That's what's fucking awesome. I mean, we're gonna get the fucking movie, guys. You did good. You did good.
Yeah, and the project is still on Indiegogo in the in-demand status, so you can still help fund and get some perks from there. I will post the link in the comments right meow, and there it goes. Almost. Boom. There we go. And go out and pick up DVD or Blu-ray or T-shirt and help get some more stuff added to that film, Never Hike Alone 2. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited for that one. I know it's going to be a year or more before we see it, but I'm excited.
I know. That's the bitch. But it looks like all systems go and they're going to start chopping it out, no pun intended, this summer.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Should be a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to that. But I like your T-shirt, by the way, Ziggy. Very nice.
Yes. Hey, I don't know if he's watching, but Mr. OKC HorrorCon will be in touch soon, sir. We got to start putting this shit together, brother.
Yeah, we got some ideas for that. We're all going to be there, I believe. I'm still waiting to hear from the Colonel on what we may be doing for June. And hell, in between now and August, I have no fucking idea what cons we're going to, if any.
Well, I just saw...
You got Detroit coming up.
Yeah, Motor City, and they added in May 13th, I think, something like that, they're having our Michigan Comic-Con. And we got the Scream panel is actually showing up there with Skeet and Jamie Kennedy and, of course, Matthew. And I don't know. No promises. I know we missed it at Horror Hound, so maybe if I can get over there, we'll end up with that one, too, again. So we'll see. No promises, though. We'll see.
If you can get in.
Yeah, right. Well, that would be my target, my reason for going,
Right.
I'll get it.
Get there early.
I don't even know if I can shoot at this one. I got to go and jump. I got to see what the protocols are before I even bother.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's like that Astronomicon, they're not going to let me shoot anything anyway in the panel room.
Right. All right, there we go. I was going to say, it looks like he's coming in, but I didn't see him yet. So, all right, gang. Well, let's get this. Let's let him zero in his camera.
Yeah, let him get settled here before we. Looks like he's dialing in.
Yeah. Yes. If you've been to a con anywhere in the upper Northeast and Midwest, you've probably seen this guy there. He goes by the name Vile Consumption. That's his business name. We just call him, hey, Cory, but Mr. Cory Holliday. Come on.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How you doing today?
Very good. Sorry.
Ziggy is wearing out that applause button today.
We just got a lot of fanfare tonight, man. We've got guests. We've got great news with Never Hike Alone. All this shit, man. Just seeing you two guys, all of us coming in here sick. It's great, man. So, yeah, fuck yeah. I'm hammering that applause button.
Very nice.
How's it going, guys?
What up, Corey?
Good. Where are you based out of? Ohio somewhere?
Yeah, Akron, Ohio. Canton.
Akron. Okay. Canton.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I always ask you that, but that's part of my short-term memory loss. That just
right.
Yeah, we're all getting older.
Yeah. My first question for you is, obviously, I feel like your love of art and drawing and this kind of creations came maybe from an early love of comic books. Were you a fan of comic books when you were a kid, and is that what helped grow you to what you're doing now?
Yeah, well, when I originally started, I was just doing only superheroes. That was like the big thing to do. I had kind of an in at Wizard World. I had a friend who worked for Wizard World, so I didn't have as much confidence as I did now to drop the amount of money for some of these tables that they require. So
right.
I would do just Wizard World, and that was it, because it was like back then I was thinking, $300 for a table was like astronomical, and for good reason, because some of these shows I did not do well at, and I couldn't break through, or I don't know what the terminology was, but I always thought about it. If I had to pay for a table, and I had to pay for travel, and I had to pay for, this and that, I would not make any money at these things. So it was like, it was almost like, once again, it was almost just my confidence. And I was like, there's no way I could do this. There's no way I could, go further with this. It was just kind of like a fun thing for me to do once a year or whatever. And, so, I was just messing around. Like, I mean, I always liked horror. But back then the big thing was, only superheroes. And I guess I didn't realize how saturated the market was back then.
I was just going to say that. I mean, you're in there with the competition, and your style, like, yeah, it's there, but I mean, you're getting everybody's take on the superheroes in there. That's got to be tough to stand shoulder to shoulder with all that,
Yeah, it did take a while for me to kind of absorb what was really going on, and not really, thinking, hey, maybe if there's other places out there. I was very naive when I first started trying to sell artwork. It was just weird to me, because my buddy is like, hey, I go to horror conventions, and like me personally, I didn't have anybody to go with. So I reconnected with one of my best friends in high school, and he always did horror conventions. When we were in high school, he was always going horror conventions, and just one day out of the blue, he was like, hey, I know you're doing the Wizard World shows. Why don't you just come with me to I'm trying to think of what show that was. I believe it was Days of the Dead Chicago, and I was like, okay, I'll go with you. And it was actually very awkward for both of us, because it was like, hey, haven't seen you in 17 years. You want to go to Chicago with me? And it was like, oh, all right. So I went there, and I was like, wow, like I need to do some horror based artwork to kind of maybe try a different crowd, try a different genres or what have you. And so I spent I'm trying to think. I spent maybe like a year and a half, almost 2 years, maybe trying to get a whole new avenue together, and
portfolio,
and I think I had my first horror show was actually Horror Hound Indie, and I maybe had, I can't even remember, maybe 10 pieces. That was it. They weren't even all really horror they weren't horror comic book mashups yet, even I don't think, because I was just doing horror, and it was I had finished my very first horror mashup, which was the giant size horror, and giant size XMen, Universal monsters in the background, all the newer guys in the front. And
I had that one with, it was Spider-Man and like Dracula and the Wolfman. They were like grabbing Spider-Man on the cover. Do you remember that one? It was one of the giant size. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit! I mean,
yeah,
down back to 6 years old, bro. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to ask when you started doing the Wizard World. What year was that when you started that? Like when you first started.
I want to say it had to be about 8 years ago. Because I know I'd already had my daughter. She was at least 4 or 5. So, I mean, it had to be at least 8 years ago. Cause, I'm really bad at stuff like that. So like when Facebook memories come into play, it's like, oh, that's when that happened. I got married 15 years ago. Right.
So you did, how many of those, was it just Wizard World? How many years before you did go to that horror con? How many years elapsed?
I want to say 2. I want to say about 2. I did. There was already people doing horror mashups then, but nobody took it. At least not that I've ever seen. Nobody took it to the level that I was trying for. And still now, like I have about 70 as of right now. So I just I knew it was a popular thing, but I thought, man, if I could just make this like, not necessarily my thing, but if I could be the guy that would be like, hey, that's the guy that does the horror mashups, like, so
fuck. That's what I always think.
Kind of the thing about the horror, especially the convention world, you almost have to find that niche within a niche within a niche that you're known for. And I think you've figured it out.
Yeah.
well, thank you.
We're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, right.
There's a couple. I mean, there's a lot of just incredible artists that are way better than me doing more incredible stuff. But I'm happy that I found something that people like, that I can have fun doing, because it's fun. It's fun for me as well. Like, I still like to draw superheroes. Not even superheroes as much anymore, but I really like to draw 80s cartoons still. Like, that's like, if anything was as popular with me as horror, it would be like 80s cartoons, your Thundercats, your He-Mans, that kind of stuff. I just kind of like to keep it fun, because there's a lot of people that ask me like, oh, have you done a commission? Can you do a commission for me? And I've tried that. I tried that before, and I was like, man, it's so hard for me to get things done. I got 2 kids of my own, and life stuff happens, so I still try to keep it fun. I love suggestions though.
Yes.
And one dark night is coming. Yes, it's coming.
I was on that one, man.
I was getting ready to mention it too.
How are we doing on that One Dark Night print there, Cory?
Oh,
You've been talking to the poor guy about this for like 3-4 years.
It's all right.
And one day when it comes, it's gonna be like, oh my god.
Oh shit, dude! But it's gonna be worth the wait, because let's give everyone a taste of what he's doing here. Kind of show them what's going on. I pulled about 10 prints off your page. Some of them do have the watermark, some don't. But I mean, and then one at the end I have a question about, and we don't have to get too deep into it, but it's just something that came up recently, and want to see what you have to say about it, since I know it got what's the right word? Worked out, resolved properly. Yeah. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of Cory's work, and we'll pause it, and you can talk about some of the prints we got here. Okay. Here we go. Yes, he does the logo there from New Line Cinemas. That's the best.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stop there for a second. Jason Takes Manhattan. I mean, look at that shit, man.
Yeah.
And is this inspired from something specific, or?
Yeah, like I always like to mashups in general. There's a lot. There's so many of them out there that I try to make it a little more relatable to each piece of the mashup. You know, so this is actually a Amazing Spider-Man cover. But it's Spider-Man's hand holding up Green Goblin's mask. You know, and originally I was like, I want to do some Jason Takes Manhattan stuff. And originally it was just going to be like one, but when I started doing like research of like what mashup I wanted to do, so many Spider-Man covers, because he's, from New York. It's like, there's so many of these covers that actually fit scenes of Jason Takes Manhattan so well that I was like, man, I got to do like 4 of these. So there's like a couple more that I haven't even worked on yet, but I also sometimes I feel like I'm getting the reputation of the guy that only draws Jason. So because he just works so well and he's fun to draw. So but yeah, this one's the death of Hobgoblin the first time, I think.
Right.
So yeah, it just worked very well with the whole idea of towards the end of Jason Takes Manhattan, he's coming up out of the water, and it just fit.
It does. The whole thing does. I mean, it's written out like how the Spider-Man logo would be written out, and it's just so cool, man. All right, let's jump ahead here.
Well, and I even like how the Jason up in the top left corner is like
doing the Spider-Man pose,
but that's great.
That's one of my things too that I've noticed doing conventions. You guys know there's a lot of artists. There's so many artists doing conventions, and you start to see trends. You start to see the same type of poses, I should say. They say you see the same Freddy Krueger with the glove going by. You see the same Leatherface pose over and over and over that people use as a reference. And I thought the comic book idea, it also the little slug in the corner there, I just think it's funny, like, hey, I'm gonna make Jason do this stupid marionette goofy looking pose, but for some reason, I don't know, I think it works. It's fun to me.
It does work though. I mean, it feels like a real comic.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
That's actually one of my biggest faults, I think, because I get so many people on Instagram being like, "Hey, I want to read this. Like, where did you find this at?" I was like, "It's not real. It's a joke." But it's hard for some people to wrap their heads around.
It's just, I don't know, like, he's, again, let's move along here because there's so many different things he does here. I mean, there you go. Herbert West, Reanimator. I mean,
I knew you were going to include this one.
I had to. I mean, it's just, and I think this one was pretty much sold out every time we've asked about it, but it's on the page there, and I was like, oh shit, so I had to put it up here just because I love Reanimator.
Yeah, the Reanimator is one of my personal favorites. Sorry, I got 2 puppies and they're like trying to attack me.
Colonel's getting lapped by a cat with a bell on its collar right now, nonstop. So.
Yeah, no, that's not true, asshole. I mute myself most of the time when I can when she's doing that. But
that's
my cat interrupts the show every week, man. It's all right.
But
this was pretty self-explanatory. I think it's just you kind of took the take right from the movie. It looks like, and kind of made it its own thing here on this one.
Yeah, I like to once again, I like to make the mashup what what made me choose this mashup, for instance. This is the iconic New Mutants cover where Cable makes his first appearance. And back then, Cable was like a bad guy. He was trying to kill all the New Mutants. And I thought it was be kind of funny. Herbert West, eyeing in on the dead people, almost like a perversion. Like he's like, hey, I'm coming to bring all you fuckers back to life. Oh, am I allowed to cuss? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
I had a action figure podcast and they were like, hey man, you gotta stop cussing because we're gonna get a parental advisory sticker.
Yeah, we don't have any of that.
I don't care about that yet.
All right. But it was another fun one. I included, the cat and a couple of the bride from part 2, just having fun with it.
Yeah, man. Damn. The reanimator. I mean, just something about that syringe full of fluid that just,
Right.
Oh yes, here's an obscure but just cult fucking classic, man.
I'm glad you guys picked this one.
Yeah.
Because this one actually is no homage to anything. I made this one up.
I was gonna say, go, man. Explain it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Wonderful, man.
Well, the Chopping Mall title itself is very reminiscent of like that 80s style, almost like Saved by the Bell.
Yep.
Credits.
Yep, that's actually what I used.
It took me a minute to zone in on the title of what I was looking for, but I was like, I've seen that design somewhere.
I was watching the new Saved by the Bell while I was putting this one together, so I had no clue what I wanted to do for the logo. So I was like, wow, that actually fits pretty perfectly. So
Nice.
I love
See,
it.
what I love about this one, though, obviously, Chopping Wall, very cult classic. But dude, just the explosion, but the eye flying, almost like it's flying out of the thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking love that.
Coming at you like Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just better looking than Friday the 13th Part 3.
I'm letting him handle his dogs there.
Yeah,
We can admire the Chopping Mall in the meantime.
Yeah, no, this one's pretty solid. I like this one a lot.
And this is one of the newer ones too. So I mean, you have the newer stuff up at the top here. All right. And that's fucking,
that, let me hit a couple of these comments because Luke says of the first one, I believe that's killer. Rob says that's awesome. Luke says great detail too. Patricia, love it.
Yeah.
Faye says, hey, Cory, thanks for joining the society tonight on the stream. It was cool meeting you at Horror Hound. Your art is great.
Yeah.
And I think there was one more. Oh, Patricia says, dog life.
Yeah, and the other dog life, right?
That is true. It's like they don't have any mute button for sure.
No. Well, when we had Deborah Voorhees on one time, I remember her just saying, hold on, guys, I got to go for a minute. My dogs are attacking each other. And like disappeared for a couple minutes and came back.
Okay.
I have two that are brothers, and they love to wrestle 24/7.
I should say also, we're looking at Cory's stuff here, and his prints are reasonably priced. They're like $3, $4 usually, a lot of them. He has different sizes available. I mean, it's all presented right there in a nice, he's got like books and like photo albums almost, where you can just flip right through and see everything he's got, in addition to the miles that are sitting behind him when you're in there. And like I said, he's got some of the best prices on this kind of stuff. So, I mean, you won't break your bank picking up vile consumption, man. Stuff from there. Not at all.
Well, and Faye mentioned to me the other night that you also have some 24x36 posters available. I wasn't aware of that. So I guess
just a couple
on your website. I may have to get one of those.
I saw your website too. You don't have vilesconsumption.com yet?
I do. But
it's
it's not active only because I found that trying to update like an actual website is a big pain in the ass. It's I don't have the patience for it, and I tried to put like a store like on a .com, and it was like, you guys, if you ever go to my page, it's, you know, if you just search Vile Consumption on Facebook or Instagram, it has a link to my store, and I have like 70 comic book mashups. I have 27 scary stories mashups. You know, so I have a lot of items, and it was like, if I wanted to put that all on a .com, it was going to cost like something crazy. And my wife was like, "There's no way you're spending, you know, like $80 a month on a website when, you know, you have this." So it was, it's just not really viable for me yet, I don't think.
I hear you. I put the address at the end of this video here too when we get done with it. I have the one, and then we'll put it in the link too, so people can click it directly. So
awesome, thank you.
Here we go. Let's move along here. Oh yes. Now I had to put the little censor on this one because we don't want to get thrown off the air. But you can imagine, folks, how this looks without the Vile Consumption box in the middle of the screen there.
If you've ever seen the movie, right?
Yeah. Oh yes. and he did justice on the depiction of this, I will say, and we'll leave it at that.
Well, and I know 13 Ghosts is a beloved property in the horror world. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I get it. You know,
I dig it. I love the concept of a lot of these ghosts that they came up with, and what you did here with it. This is another one I think I need to get.
Yeah.
So.
I wanted, when I originally thought, you know, I look through what horror movies I love, what ones, you know, I would like to incorporate into, and you know, try to be fresh. You know, I don't see a lot of people doing any 13 Ghosts fan art out there.
Not much.
So when I wanted to do something, but I had no clue what, and I really didn't have an idea of like an homage that I wanted to use as well. So this isn't really homaging any specific cover, but what it is doing, it's using the they call it Marvel's floating heads. Back in like the 70s, they would literally just put a character in the middle, and then they would put the rest of like the cast of the Avengers around them, depicting, you know, hey, this is who's going to be in this book. And I thought that'd be a really fun way to kind of fit all of those characters in there, because I've never drawn 15, 16 characters on a one piece before. So this was, you know, fun to do that way, and kind of still got the homage in there, but still was all me drawing. So
I love how you got the binding spell symbols in there too, kind of smattered out. You know, that's nice.
It was kind of a pain in the ass to try and fit all that in there, but it was also like to try and reference every ghost. I'm in the same boat with you. It's not like one of my favorite movies, but I do like how the movie itself is they introduce all 13 ghosts, and then the cast is running away from the 13 ghosts, and then they kind of do a second introduction of all 13 of the ghosts, and then the movie's over. It's like that's the whole film. And I just think that's kind of funny.
I probably should not say this on the air, but I'm going to anyway, because I just thought of another kind of a different mashup for this, especially being right after Easter. How about do a 13 Ghosts as the Last Supper?
Oh my God, that would be a good one.
There you go.
That would be a good one. Tomorrow you're gonna see some artist somewhere is gonna come up with that right then.
God damn it! By the way, everybody.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea for sure.
13 Ghosts. Well,
I did not fit what's her name, Raw Digga, in there. I didn't get her in there. She was the nanny.
Right.
You know, that's fine, but let's face it. I think, you know, most people will be satisfied with the unedited version of this one. Believe it.
I love how Matthew Lillard, from what I've heard, he doesn't like that movie very much. So like when people bring him artwork to sign, he's kind of like indifferent towards it. He'll still sign it, but he's like 13 ghosts.
It probably, I don't know, maybe
it's
from script to film, you know how it goes. It probably lost something in the way, and
right.
All right, it's not. There's much worse shit to watch out there.
For sure.
Now, and you're obviously a fan of John Carpenter's The Thing, because this is one of several that you've done, or at least two that I know of that you've done from. But this is great.
It is one of my favorite movies.
This one stood out to me. I just went, I don't know what it is. I like it. It's it's that kind of a Venom thing going on.
It's based off of Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. It's the one thing about this specific mashup. You guys know the original Thing poster where it has it's just the silhouette.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be fun to kind of play off of that idea. It was that has just the silhouette. Dark Knight Returns has just a silhouette. So it was like put those two ideas together in one mashup. So it's not necessarily referencing anything from the Dark Knight Returns. It's just the idea of both had a silhouette, and then that was it. So I think that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
That one's just I don't know, man. That one speaks to me.
And I just got one of the other The Thing from Another World, the comic book mashup that you did.
There we go. This is that giant size horseshit we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it's the one you were talking earlier.
As a kid, you'd see these things at the store, and they'd be $3 or $4 compared to the 70 cents that the mini ones were, the regular size ones.
Right,
bro. When I saw this, I was instantly 6 years old again. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
I remembered it. I mean, vividly. I was like, wow. And with seeing this with the guys of my era and everything, and the ones in the past, it's just fucking brilliant, man.
Yeah, a lot of people, when they look at this one, they kind of just gloss over the idea that the Universal Studio monsters are kind of in the background.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even see them. They're like, oh, that's cool, Jason, Freddy, and stuff. But the original XMen was, in the background on the original homage, and they were, the whole idea of that story was that the old guard was kind of getting kicked out for the new X-Men, which, Wolverine, Colossus, and it's kind of the same idea here. And that's where it comes into play, that the mashup kind of makes a little more sense, as opposed to, you see, I'm not trashing on anybody's artwork, but you see like mashups out there, and it's like Freddy with Mario Brothers, and you're like, what do those two things have to do with each other in any way? It's almost like those Chinese ads you see on Facebook, where they're like a t-shirt and it's just like 1,000 words on the t-shirt. It's like they're taking all this metadata that they see on Google searches and stuff, and they're just like, just grab Mario Brothers and Freddy Krueger, put them together. We don't care if it makes sense at all. Like, we're just the ones that did it. And it's like, well, I like mashups to be a little more, to make a little more sense than that.
Right.
Yeah,
that's more like a pop culture casserole that those guys are doing. It's just,
right.
Yeah, man.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't really add up, but hey, if it's your thing, it's your thing. You go ahead and do it. But I don't quite get some of them like that.
Right. And this one has that feature of like the breaking through. I've always liked that in print ads, or comic book covers, movie posters like that. So I think
Big Trouble. It's one of my favorites.
Third Wall. This is a good one too, though.
I was just going like, fuck, man. I don't know. I said, all right, I'm just gonna
keep
go through and get the ones that blink at me. Here we go. And this is another one that's just such a wonderful movie, and anything related to it like this. And which one is this one homage to?
It's the 77 Star Wars. The Marvel Star Wars is what this is homaging. Which
you said it, I went, oh my god, he's right there.
The funny one about this is nothing really was kind of like clicking for Big Trouble in Little China, but that Star Wars, if you guys know that cover, and
at it.
I'm looking at that cover, and down at the corner on that cover, it's like it says by George Lucas, and then at the top, like right above the title, it's like the greatest sci-fi epic of all time. And I was like, it would be like hilarious. Like, I love Big Trouble in Little China, but for years, and when it came out, it was like a bomb. Nobody liked it, and it took a very long time for it to find its audience. And so I just thought it would be like really hilarious if it was like, I don't even remember what I wrote, the greatest action fantasy of all time. You know what I mean? It's like to like build that up. If this book came out in when Big Trouble came out in theaters, like, people would be like, really, the biggest action fantasy of all time? Like, come on. Like, so yeah, like once again, I just like to have fun with them. And I'm a fan, so I'm like, if I like the way this looks, then I think other people will too.
Right. That's
like,
it.
It looks great, because I mean it's almost the perfect mashup for Big Trouble in Little China, though.
Right.
Really, I mean, it really is. Shameless plug here. Big Trouble in Little China is one of my top Carpenter films.
I love the Pork Chop Express comics group at the top.
Yeah.
Nice touch. All right, man. Let's see here. We got more. There's
Keep
more.
rolling. Yeah.
We're gonna roll. All right. There we go. And that's the other thing. Like, he kind of went movie posters on some of these things, which is cool too. And just just look at this shit, man. What the fuck?
This was one of my newest ones. I finished this one. And also, everything that you guys have been showing off up until this point has been done on my process. I like to just ink and pencil, just like a traditional comic book would. And then I scan it in, all the colors and all the typesetting and all like the grunginess to it to make it look old is all done in Photoshop. A super old, dated version of Photoshop. Like, I don't even want to say how old my version of Photoshop is, because it's like almost embarrassing. But this one, this specific, this Crybaby poster was my first attempt at Procreate, which I don't know if you guys have like a iPad or anything, but it's hilarious to me that Procreate exists, because you can buy a tablet. A tablet costs like $1,000 or whatever. But if you buy Procreate, it's like $10. It blew my mind when I got it. My one art buddy was like, dude, you got to get a tablet and get this Procreate program. I'm like, okay, it is Photoshop. It's flat out Photoshop. And then Adobe Photoshop charges like $70 a month, and you have to have a membership and all this stuff now. And it's like,
Photoshop is ridiculous anymore.
Yeah, like you can't even use it. It's like unreal. So that's one of the reasons why I've been using this like just stupid old program to make most of my pieces. And then so this one came out, I was over the moon happy with how this worked, and I was like, well, it's not using Photoshop anymore.
Time to move on. Yeah, this looks great. By the way,
who the hell calls their software program Procreate? That's just wrong. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think it's clever. You can give it the buzzer all you want. I think it's clever as shit.
They're going to get canceled having a name like that.
Because, man, when you use Procreate, you'll be a pro pretty soon. It's only $10. It's like, might as well try it.
Man, if I could procreate for only $10, I'd probably do it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Man, you get a watermark with that too. It's called herpes.
This is one of my all-time Vile Consumption's favorite pieces that I have. I have this one, and this is tremendous. I'll
over
say
the years.
Just look at it.
Oh, my favorite part about this whole thing is the night no one comes home.
Yeah. Wasn't that like one of the taglines of that movie? I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was one of the taglines.
Yeah, it's just so funny because
it's the
the night he came home. Now it's the night no one comes home because he's not even in it.
Yeah, the second one was more of the night he came home, and then
Right.
the night no one comes home. So
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this is like one of my first ones. That first convention,
Wow.
I had Season of the Witch, and people were like, I over the years I've gotten a lot of heat for this one because, man, you either love or hate this movie. Like there is really no in between for this one.
You know what though? I'm almost getting to the point. I don't want to sound like an elitist or anything, but when a horror fan comes up to me and says, "Oh, Halloween 3 sucks," your credibility with me just went way the fuck down.
Right?
You know what I mean? Because that's a great fucking movie.
I love to talk about artists that I like. I love that London 1888 has a shirt, and I can't. It says real big, Halloween 3 sucks, but then it says like underneath it, real small. It's like just like your mom or something like that. Like it's really funny.
I have that shirt. So
you have that shirt.
If you think then Halloween 3 sucks real big, that's because Tom Atkins fucked your mother.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. That's a little different. Oh, you do?
We had a thing at Horror Hound with this. This just happened, like with this shirt. Colonel, if you would.
So we were pretty busy. As you know, this Horror Hound was fucking insane compared to
Oh my god,
all the other ones combined. So we didn't really get to do any autographs or anything or try get IDs till that Sunday. So I was wearing that shirt for Sunday. I'm like, oh, Tom Atkins is going to love this. Apparently, he does not.
No?
I was warned.
No.
I was like, how do you want your experience with Tom Atkins to go? Because you might want to zip up your hoodie and hide that because he does not like that shirt.
Yeah,
really?
Explains why he probably wasn't selling it at Horror Hound this year. I noticed he didn't have it at his booth.
Oh wow! I didn't know he didn't like that shirt. I would think Tom Atkins would love that shirt.
I thought so too because it's fucking hilarious.
It is.
Oh yeah, I thought that was the funniest fucking shirt of last September. I mean, but that guy was there, and then the guy that books everybody, he was the one that kind of said, "Hey man, he kind of got to that vendor and said, listen, you might want to pull that down because Atkins is here, and he is not a fan of that." So
wow,
Colonel zipped up his fucking hoodie, and we had no issue, thank goodness.
Now, speaking of Horror Hound, you don't have to give me dollar amounts or anything. How well did this one do?
Oh man, this show was incredible.
Well,
it was.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about this particular poster because it's one of the rare.
Oh yeah, just this poster. I mean, it's funny because with how much heat that I've gotten for this poster because so many people have told me, it's really hilarious. I joke around with this a lot doing conventions. Some people they come up to you and you're. Vendors are captive audiences. Like vendors, we can't go anywhere. So in some instances, people are like, "Hey, this guy's stuck here, so I'm gonna give him my opinion on stuff." So like you just kind of like have to like chill there and just be like, like if you wanna debate somebody, go ahead, but that just means that they're gonna just be there even longer. But some people they will get up there and it's like if they see this piece, they have to tell me that they hate this movie. It's like, okay, man, like I'm sorry, but it is one of my best selling pieces. When I was first starting, this piece got I wouldn't say ripped off, but somebody screenshotted my piece.
Oh
and,
yeah.
they made stickers of it, and there was a guy on Instagram. He was very, very popular for getting a hold of like 70 different artists together and uh, getting all of us to do a themed piece for a certain movie or show or whatever, and then he would have a giveaway. And so all 70 artists would send in whatever they're making, and he would show it all off like in one big group, and then he'd be like, okay, we're and then he'd raffle it off to somebody and then send it to him. It was a really cool, fun idea. But when I first did this piece, I message him, and I'm like, hey, it was actually not for Season of the Witch. It was for Tales from the Crypt, because the Crypt Keeper I also have in this piece. And he's like, yeah, are you associated with so-and-so? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, this guy just submitted the same piece. And I was like, what? Like,
Wow.
I couldn't believe it, and he like sends me this guy's messages, and I'm like, I had to prove to the guy who was running the whole thing. I had to prove to him, I'm like, listen, like, here's the original inked piece. Like, I am the artist that did this. It was like, I couldn't believe somebody out there would have kind of like the audacity to do such a thing, but sure enough.
This will lead into later on a couple of minutes here when we get to the last piece. But how is the camaraderie in like a horror convention, maybe even compared to the Wizard World, amongst the other artists in there? Because it seems like everybody's pretty cool, and I saw other artists stepping up for you when we do get to this last story we're going to talk about. When we get
it really all depends. There is like kind of like an unspoken I don't know. There are unspoken rules, like if you come up with an idea, like don't be a dick, and just so like everybody's drawing these things, everybody's trying to break out and be known for this or known for that. And like I said in the beginning of his show, there's other horror mashup artists out there. There's other horror comic book artists out there. But like, if you have like an original idea, or maybe I should say it like this, like if you have an idea that nobody's come up with yet, and then another artist comes by and goes, that's a really cool idea, I'm just going to draw it in my way. Like, I don't know, like for me, like all of this stuff comes in a very deep love for the genre, a love for these movies. Like when I got to watch a lot of these movies when I was way too young, so it's like these are all like friends of mine, so right. When people like rip you off like that, it kind of like bums you out. But at the same time, we live in a time now where information is so easy to get. So some ideas do cross over, and at that point,
I hear you, but I think there's enough difference in those ideas that I've seen anyway. Where if someone else like that, a blatant ripoff, it's obvious.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And the only thing you have now, because I don't own the rights to any of this, right? Like, right. I'm just drawing. I'm drawing a picture, and technically, you could say this was all bootleg stuff. So I don't have any rights to it. So the only thing you have is your followers, or your Instagram account to be like, hey, listen, I did this idea, a while back, or whatever. But for the most part now, I think it's a lot better than it was when I first started. It almost seemed very, when I first started, those first couple of Days of the Dead shows and those couple of Horror Hound shows, way back in I want to say 2015 now, maybe, I don't know, somewhere around there. but it seemed like they were very people were very territorial, and I was lucky enough to get help by Bloody Disgusting. I did some work for very early on. I had somebody from Bloody Disgusting contact me and say, they found me through Instagram, and they said, hey, would you mind doing a piece for us? And back then I was like trying to do anything. I mean, I think I had like 400 followers or something. So it was like, yeah, I'll draw a picture for you. You guys like are the people I go to for horror news, you know? So back then I didn't have any help. And so companies like Bloody Disgusting like really helped me. So, but yeah.
All right.
I didn't mean to go off the rails there, guys.
Oh no. I kind of threw a question in there too, just about how, and like I guess I was going at like, well, you can't really do anything if someone does rip you off, unless
exactly
that blatant where you can say, hey, asshole, I've got the shit right here. Here's the original.
Right.
Throw that guy out. I mean, did he get any repercussions for trying to submit your work into that project?
I did. Well, I had to prove that I was the original artist. I had to see
the other guy. I mean, the other guy.
The other guy. The other guy. He kind of he kind of played it off like, oh, I'm just the t-shirt maker. So I don't know what was real or whatever, but he was like, I'm just a t-shirt maker. I made these stickers. My designer sent me this image and I made these stickers. So he actually had I want to say like a 5x7 of these that he made into stickers. But so I kind of learned over the years, like if you guys know now, like if you look at some of my pieces, like up in the top corner there by the word horror, it has vile consumption on it, and it was funny because the guy actually left that on there. And he had no idea that was in there, and he's trying to steal it. And his name was like written across like the Silver Shamrock Factory. Like he even had like that done. Like, so I'm sitting there thinking like, dude, like you definitely were you kind of knew that this was getting ripped off, but at the same time, it was like, what can you do? He kind of, the guy putting on the whole thing, definitely didn't take anything else from him, but he was also like, dude, he was like, I want to call this guy out right now. I was kind of like, nah, man, let's let it lie. Like it does happen a lot more often than anybody realizes, but, yeah, so that was one of my first forays into art ripping off, and that wasn't even like somebody having the same idea. That was straight up somebody like, I like this art, I'm gonna make sure that people think it's me. Which
I'm gonna put it on and give it away myself.
Stolen valor, man. What the fuck?
I have a hard enough time selling my stuff as it is. It was like other people trying to sell my stuff for themselves. It's odd.
This is the one I was talking about. Now,
yeah.
If you haven't heard, folks, there was a bit of a controversy it's okay I mentioned him now because it's worked out, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We are better than good now.
Okay, so whatever, it's fine. It's all good. We'll have from the man himself. He'll explain why it's cool. But I'll just say, we all buy from them too. We love Fright Rags. Hello, Fright Rags. We love you. But a misunderstanding, and we'll let Cory explain. We have the Mannequin Maniac mashup here, which is fucking epic, by the way. And what happened, man?
So I did this mashup, and this really didn't get that much traction. When I always make my posters, I print out like 30 of them first just to see if anybody likes it, and because I don't want to have 100 of these things lying around if nobody's going to buy one. And I've had it for about 2.5 years. So it didn't get that much traction or whatever. But I did have it out there. I love Fright Rags too. I'm a huge fan of theirs. They are one of the first t-shirt companies that really I saw artists that I was personally a fan of. Alex Party, Alex Party is hands down like my favorite artist like of all time. So he did stuff with him. Like I do believe Jason Edmondson did stuff with like way back when. I can't remember, but anyways, I have a ton of their shirts, and so I was just being a fan, and like 2 years or so, I message some of the people there. I friend request them on Facebook, and I'm trying to get my foot in the door, and I know that their artists are like top tier, like they are the cream of the crop. But I was just, I don't know. I just thought maybe I have a chance, and I messaged who I thought was the owner at the time. I said, hey man, I know you probably have a stable of artists, but here's my stuff and let me know what you think or whatever. And he goes, okay. And I'll send it to the big man. And I thought, oh, this guy's not the owner of the company or whatever. I didn't hear anything. Like 4 hours later or so, I get a message from the same person, and it's a video of a baby. It's a TikTok link, and I'm like, what is this? It's a video of a baby taking a shit, and I'm like, what? All right, what the hell does this mean?
Because got out. That detail came out. So yes, what the fuck, man? What does this mean?
I was like, is he saying my stuff's shit? Or like, I just kind of like rolled it off, and I messaged him back, and I was like, yeah. I don't know what this is. I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh man, sorry, that wasn't supposed to go to you. And I'm just thinking like, yeah, but like, what the fuck, Anyway, I like kind of just like brushed it off. I was like, okay, that was a dumb idea for me to even try to ask if Fright Rags would be interested or whatever. And couple months later, I don't really know the time frame. It's maybe 6 months. I don't know. But they now just recently this happened, and they announced this new April Fool's Day stuff, and sure enough, there's a Maniac piece in there that is a mashup of Maniac and Mannequin, except they're, instead of using a car, because the car is in Maniac, but then the motorcycle is on the Mannequin, poster. And I saw it, man, and I just kind of, in my head, like, I created the scenario. You know what I mean? Like, it's that, you look at the time frame and you're like, what the fuck? Like, they totally looked at it and we're like, okay, we got this idea now. We're going to use our artists and redraw it the way we want. And so I was on Facebook and I just vented, and I kind of was like, oh, I don't even remember what I completely wrote, but it was like, t-shirt company that I love, just fucking just stole my idea, and then on top of that said my shit was baby shit. And it was like, yeah. And I did not realize like the implosion that I got through that. But after that, I was getting people messaging me left and right, like, who is it? We're going to find out who this is. We're going to burn their booth down. Or, I had one guy message me and be like, I will straight up flip their booth the next time I see it. I was like, please don't do that. Like, please don't, like, don't, oh God, no. Like, and like I've said before, like, all of my stuff is considered bootleg. And if they, I thought about this as soon as people started messaging me. I was like, this is the end of my horror art career, because as a t-shirt company who has officially licensed stuff, you have this lesser known artist who is creating this huge problem for you. And I was all I could think about in my head was, they are going to cease and desist every piece I own. You know, they have the official license for, you know, Friday the 13th, or the official license for Nightmare on Elm Street, official license for Scream. You know, essentially, if they wanted to, they could just be like, hey, don't draw this stuff anymore. And I would have legally, I would have to stop. And that's where my head was at. And I was like, oh no, I've made a huge mistake. Like, all these people are messaging, and on their Instagram posts, like, people were just left and right coming out of the woodwork. Like, you know, this was Vile Consumption's idea. He did it, you know, years ago. And I was scared for my career. I was like, I'm done. This is it. And so Ben is the owner of Fright Rags, and he was he took it in stride. He really he reached out to me through Instagram, and he said, hey man, if you get a chance, please email me, you know? And so I did. And I just laid it all out there. I was like, this is how I see it. This was the, you know, this was the timeline of events as that unfolded as I see them. So I don't know what to say, except I am a huge super fan of your guys. I was like, I was just trying to be, you know, part of the gang, you know, and I laid it all out there, you know, and I didn't hear anything. I was actually at work at the time, and I didn't hear anything for like, I don't know, like maybe 2 hours or something. And, you know, I'm sitting there at work, and I just have like sweat, just like, I'm done. Like, this is it. Like, everything that I was trying to accomplish with my art career, like, this is over. And then I get a text message on my phone, and it just says, hey, Cory, I hope this is you. This is Ben from Fright Rags. When you get a chance, can you just give me a phone call? And he gives me his home phone number. And I was like, first of all, like, I was like, how did he find my phone number? Right. And I'm like, this is it's so surreal, the whole thing, you know? So I was like, message back, and I'm like, yeah, man, as soon as I get off work here, I will give you a call. And so I think it was like maybe 6 o'clock at night or so. And I call him up, and we had a really long conversation. First off, like, complete different guy than what I thought. Like, I thought this guy was going to be like, hey, you know, you're kind of doing bootleg stuff, and we kind of got the rights to do all this stuff, so how about you just quit, and then we'll call it a day or whatever. And he was like right off the bat, he goes, okay, so I read your email. I looked at the facts presented, and he goes, in a court of law, he's like, we would be guilty. It would look like we took your idea. Right. Not because they're maniacs and mannequins, but because of the phone conversations that took place, because of, you know, things like that. And he goes, the employee that I talked to, he said, this guy, he did not mean to do this. Okay. He has other people named Cory in his phone, and like one of his friends was supposed to get the message that you got. Like, it was something completely off base. You know, it wasn't meant for me. It didn't have any bearing on my art, you know? Right. So, you know, the things that happened were not in reference to what I thought, you know, or what they looked like they were referencing. So we had a huge conversation, but like the cool thing was about it was right off the bat, he was like, listen, I have these shirts completely made, and if you don't want me to make them, he's like, I won't make them. He's like, we'll just, you know, and I was like, I don't want to be the bad guy here either. And I was like, I definitely don't want you to do that, because I know there are people out there that definitely want this shirt. So and I don't ever want bad blood between me and Fright Rags, you know. So
Oh, of course not.
because then it would be like, oh yeah, I got all these. I half of my wardrobe would be, I'd have to, you know, box up and whatever. And
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just, that was the thing. And when this is all going on, and it was in between you getting the email and sending the email, and then the call, and then later on, hey, it's all worked out. It was a big misunderstanding, and I was still like, fuck that. I got to know what's going on with the baby shit. I got to know. I got to know.
Yeah, it was definitely odd, but yeah. So I mean, he offered to destroy all the shirts he had printed already, and they actually sent me one. I don't have it with me right now, but yeah, he was like, hey man, you want this free shirt? I was like, yeah, and he was like, we'll give you a shout out on our page, which I was like, that's worth more to me than anything. You know what I mean? If I can't be one of the artists that worked for Fright Rags, I would still, get some notoriety in some way. So he was really understanding. We kind of we really hit it off just talking about family and stuff. But and he's been doing this a lot longer than I have. And he was like, man, stuff like this comes up all the time. The indie art scene. You always have people trying to take ownership of this idea or that idea, but I was just venting on Facebook, and I didn't mean for it to get the way it did, but we did have a good outcome.
Yeah, it sounds like who knows, you may be set up for the future. Hey, man, don't never say never. Never say never.
Yeah, never say never. But that would be like where I guess I would want to go with this, because I love doing conventions, but man, is it a lot of work. It is. Mm-hmm. It is. And it would be different if it was my only job. But so imagine, if you will, like doing Horror Hound, right? And that Sunday when Horror Hound is completely done, that Horror Hound was completely off the wall.
Yes.
It was actually my second best show of all time. Nice. So just imagine doing that, and then Sunday night packing up, driving home, because Monday morning you've got to go back to work. And that's what I was doing, and that's what I do now. And it's like, it gets I'm not a spring chicken anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Hey, you're talking to a couple of 50-year-olds in here, man. So
hush. One 50-year-old.
Well, hey, one almost 50-year-old, and then the other guy.
Just the other guy.
But it was funny because after COVID, and I did my last year was my busiest year ever. I did more shows last year than I did outside shows. I was trying to do anything to recoup, not being able to do shows, and I did two of them back to back. And I was like, oh my God, was this hard before? I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm exhausted, moving this shit around and trying to make it out to shows and stuff. But I'm lucky enough to have a really good group network of friends that are willing to do shows with me. If I got to step away from my booth, all of them are willing to step in, and help out. So it's always good to have people like that.
I've seen you break down at a Horror Hound too, and you got it kind of. It's not too bad of the way you carry your stuff. It's all packed in a nice cabinet, kind of. You had it on a wagon, it had wheels and shit. At least the one I saw. Yeah, I was like, damn, that's the way to go.
Yeah, some of those
were carrying shit by hand, doing back.
Like we were that one time. Good Lord.
They made us park in Indianapolis. They had to park in the back by the loading bay, and then our fucking booth was clear across the whole arena.
Oh, was that the old Horror Hound? The one in Indy, or is that the one that they had at the big convention center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giant ass fucking damn, man. We're Sharonville. It's like you're packed in like sardines. This one, it looked like it was, the middle of the night or something. Just the traffic was nowhere near. The aisles were so wide, it just seemed very, very open. And
that one was like, it looked like two football fields is what when I walked in, I was like, this is so big.
Yeah. That was insane.
It was too big. They need a little bit smaller than that,
Yeah. People were like, had to walk like 2 miles or something to the Mask Fest. The Mask Fest was like on the other side. It was like, oh, it's all the way over there. It was like, oh man. Yeah. I still love it. I still like that show, the indie show at the convention center. I hope they do it there again, but yeah, right. Like you guys said, it's maybe if the aisles were a little bit closer together, they'd be able to funnel people better. But I think at that time they just they didn't know how many people were going to come or what it was really going to look like. That was all. That wasn't a big time experimental show. But yeah, you're right. I had to park so far away, and actually, I think I got shuttled to the show floor, and I was like, yeah. I was like, okay. It was just the whole thing was it was a learning experience for everybody, I do believe.
That was like the wrong time to get a booth, because we had a booth in there too, and it was just kind of like,
Yeah, that was like I said, anytime a show has to move locations, it's going to be a brand new show. Like, you don't know what to expect. Like, I like to think of every show has its own personality, mind you. Like if I do Horror Hound Cincinnati, I know what to expect there, and that's Horror Hound Cincinnati. And then I do Steel City Con. It's a really good show too, but it's a completely different feel. It's just a different monster, and every single convention is like that. So when you have to move, which I used to love the Horror Hound Indy, the old hotel that they had it at. I thought that hotel was so cool looking, but the problem is there was no parking. There's no parking for that building. Like, they would have to have parking in all the other surrounding hotels because there was just nowhere else, to go or whatever. And so that's why they had to move anyways. And shows like that, when they move, it's like they have to rebuild that fan base because there's so many people that are like, I'm not going to go, to that show over there. I liked it over here and things like that. So it's always a learning experience. So hopefully the next Horror Hound Indie will be a little better and be able to grow at that convention spot.
I know after this past Horror Hound, I'm like, man, I wish that contracts and everything involved. I get that. I'm like, fuck, they need to move to the convention center downtown like they did in Indianapolis.
Exactly.
I mean, no parking shit. You saw how it was, man.
Oh yeah.
But then again, how many parking spots did we lose? The tubes and construction equipment and everything else. So
yeah, I really I thought before COVID that convention center was going to they were going to remodel things, but it just seemed like I was like, what happened? Because there was a lot of, if you guys remember, before COVID at the Sharonsville Convention Center, there was a lot of construction going on, and I was like, oh, they're gonna connect some of these hotels, or they're gonna make a parking area somewhere else, and it was like, oh, they didn't do any of those things. Like, so I don't really know what all the construction was for, but it's pretty much the same.
We talked to Nathan at Horror Hound at the end of it on Sunday. He's the head guy, of course, and he said they're expanding the convention center itself. They're going to make it even bigger, but I don't know how, connecting it or whatever. But I mean, he said they were going to push it back into the parking lot. Which, what the fuck? There's already nowhere to park in that place, man.
Yeah, that would be another problem for sure.
Garage.
They're going to have to put up something in there to do it with. By the way, folks, this is the store address. Can you confirm?
Yeah, sorry about that long address, but if you just go to Store Envy and you just search file consumption, you'll be able to find it. Even if you Google search just file consumption, it'll come up.
That's what I did. But we did put the link in the comments if you want to go and buy some of this tremendous artwork from the one and only Cory Holliday, for sure.
We strongly
guys.
suggest that you do, because at least 3 pieces of his artwork Three totally different pieces of his artwork, I might add.
Yeah,
It's great stuff.
I think you have kind of forged your own style here. I mean, yeah, it's of course if you're using other properties and shit, but what you do, no one's doing it like you do it. So I mean that you got going. I don't know, man. This is. I hope it's worth it to you to do this. It must be, because nobody would keep doing this shit if you were getting your ass kicked week after week or month after month.
Or I'm just really stupid. Yeah.
I got a couple of questions for you. First off, like, what's the furthest that you've gone for a convention?
Yes.
I do Mad Monster in North Carolina.
Huh.
That one is very far. I've only done it 3 times now, but it's always a blast down there. It's a big party.
We're trying to get down there, man. We're trying.
Yeah, we're gonna try to time that out at some point.
It's a good one, and that one I like to. My wife likes to go to that one because the hotel is very neat looking. It's just it's a fun party atmosphere. The first time I did that show was basically during COVID, like right when they opened things back up, and it was very odd. Like they had, I was in the hallway, and a lot of customers were coming up to me and they were like, "Man, you guys should have been here like last year, because this whole hallway was full of people. It was there were so many people here." And it was like, I was still doing okay because I was in the hallway, which was like odd. They had two rooms and everybody was separated because of COVID. So it was like you had a table and then you had like an empty table, and then you had another table and then an empty table. Like, so everybody was trying to stay spaced out, and you could only walk a certain direction through the rooms. And fuck. I talked to other artists and they were like, "Oh, this is killing us. We're not making any money because of the way this is working." And I don't know. It was just kind of, I fell into that hallway spot, and I was loving it. I was like, man, I'm getting everybody. So it worked out for me, and I was like, I'm definitely coming back if after COVID and everything, and this place is back to normal. And the last 2 times I've done it, it's been really fun. And it's cool too, because the celebrities at that show aren't really separated out. So it'll be like my table is probably 20 feet away from Nev Campbell's spot. So like I get to like see all of the celebrities like all day long, and they're just all chilling over there, and it's fun to do it that way, because then people come up to my booth, and if they buy a poster, I get to watch them like walk it over to Nev Campbell and sign it. That part was kind of cool for me. But you
have to get celebs coming to your table too and going, "Holy shit, that's awesome!"
Yeah, I have Corey Taylor from Slipknot. He liked some of my mashups for sure. He has fun with them. But yeah, it's neat because you get to be out there with them, and they get to enjoy the full con experience as well. But yeah, so that is the furthest I've gone. I've done Maryland. I've gone up to Maryland. I've gone up to Jersey. So that's a little further away for me too. But I've kind of got my route down. I want to do some more stuff in Chicago. I don't have any conventions in Chicago for a very long time, so I'm going to try to do that again. But
you have August coming up, don't you?
What's in August? Remind me.
Days of the Dead in Chicago?
No, I don't do Days of the Dead anymore. Yeah, that's one that I just kind of had to drop that one off.
We've heard that. I don't know why. I've never been to a Days of the Dead, but I've heard they've had problems, and a lot of people have said it's just not as quality as it used to be.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to speak bad about them, but they kind of they had I don't know, they had like 7 people running the show, and then something happened, and now there's only like 1 person running the show. So like all those people like bailed.
That's tough then.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but there's probably a lot of problems, So it is what it is. It's just all I know is that the last one I did was probably about 3.5, 4 years ago, and I just didn't make any money. I didn't make any money, So it's like I can't do a show where I don't make any money. It's like I try to at least break even on right. A lot of shows. I want to have fun, but like I have family. I wish it could all be fun for me, but to try and make a business work.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. I know you don't get that far over there, but this is it's an untapped resource, man. I wouldn't be giving you bad advice. If you
I know.
To make it happen ever, man. I'm telling you, this place is insane.
Trying to figure out like logistics and I would have to like fly out there or do something like that, and
that's what I
just like when I first started, man. It's trying to get the logistics down and not having the confidence to pull that next trigger. You know what I mean?
I understand. And I'm just saying, after going through there and seeing it, and there is nothing that comes close to what you are doing there. You would have it would be one of the highlight booths. I mean,
yeah.
There's nothing like that. Nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out further. I would love to do like Texas and California and stuff. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Well, and Mad Monster has a couple other shows in California and Arizona too. So
yeah, they do one in Arizona. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but it's only a matter of time. It's just like I said, getting the confidence, and then as of right now, man, like I pull like almost all of my vacation time just to do shows. Just to maintain that normal job and that normal lifestyle. It's like I would love to just do art, but health insurance and things like that come into play.
Yeah, no, dude.
As a musician, it's the same. It's the same.
Yeah,
you're making a one income anymore. You got to have a side hustle.
Dave says we will carpool. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. It'll be hard to fit. It'll be hard to fit us in the car with my art, but it'll get pretty smelly by the time we get there. But
me and Colonel are talking about driving. I know we got to wrap it up so we can get to the actual list of the topic tonight. We've got stuff to talk about here.
Well, I agree with everything Zigzag said about trying to get you down to Oklahoma. I think you would do a killing down here. You would be one of the only like original artist there. I think there were only like 2 other ones, and they were not that great.
Not like what you're doing, and
and they're not doing anything like what you're doing. So
like a lot of pencil stuff, you know what I mean? It was white stuff. Just cool, very cool, but
it's good stuff. But
your shit would pop in there, man. It would be like, holy shit, look at this guy, you know.
I keep telling Nathan I want 2 tables the next Horror Hound, but you guys know it's hard to get spots in there. And I'm like, can I buy 2 tables this time? And he's like, I don't have enough room. I'm like, yeah, I know.
You still look good. Your booth always is right there, and with the way you set it up, and I've seen you do some of the other ones on Facebook too, man. That's like it's almost you see it. You're the bug. You got to go check it out, man. It's just, look at that bright, shiny, colored thing over there. What's going on?
Yeah, when I first started, I told my wife, I was like, I had this. You guys have seen it. It's like this lemon yellow sheet that I use for a tablecloth, and my wife was like, "Why do you want that color?" And I was like, "Because if you ever go to a horror convention, everybody else has a black tablecloth, and this lemon yellow tablecloth people would have to stare at it because it's it looks like a train wreck threw up, So that's why I do it. I take it to every show for that purpose.
Hey, color is important.
Right. Especially when you're a room full of people wearing black t-shirts.
Right. I mean, like we are right now.
Yeah, like we are. Like I got MTV on, but that's 95% of my other t-shirts are all black.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, we got 25 minutes or so to roll through top 5 lists.
Yes.
Cory, we're going to start with you. What are some of your favorite horror posters of all time? And I think we got them all here.
Yeah, no, listen, before we start, I went in the order you sent them. So that would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So
okay, I can't remember which one. I don't really have a I'd have to go back and look. I don't really have an order.
I'll try to just go.
All right.
You say a name. So.
Frank, you click the thing and then let him say, "Oh yeah," and then tell us why you like.
Oh yeah,
that.
okay, yeah. That'll be better because I have no clue how I said them.
Okay. All right. Well, this was the one I had at number 5. Deep Star 6.
Yes. So, to give you guys a little bit of a backstory of like my childhood, how it went for me. So I lived in this little town called Doylestown, and we had one video rental store, but it was awesome because it was about 5 minutes away from my house. I would ride my bike there all the time. And I'm talking like 4th grade, 5th grade. I'd ride my bike to the video store, and you'd get the little coin off of the underneath the cassette cover. You get the little coin, then you have to go up to the counter and be like, I want this one.
Oh, yeah. The hang tag.
Yeah, the little hang tag. Yeah, and so I loved that place. But what was really cool around that same time, like 4th, 5th grade, right across the street from me, the post office was. I mean, right across the street. They ended up consolidating the post office and moving it to another location, and another video store went into the post office, right? So I was like, oh my God, like now there's 2 video stores in our little town, and this one is like right across the street from me. So these guys, they saw me come in like all the time, and so this poster for me, like, and I'm not going to say like quality of the film doesn't have to do with anything about my selections. It's only the posters themselves. I actually would always get this one mixed up with Leviathan.
Yes.
Like all the time. And I would re-rent movies over and over, and I would always rent sorry. But I would always rent the wrong one. I guess it was like I like both of the movies, but I would always rent the wrong one thinking it was the other one. I was like, oh crap, I did it again, But this poster really got me. And then when I did see Deep Star 6, this poster is kind of a spoiler of part of the movie where the guy gets bit in half, and it's like the best part of the movie. But like so cool, just the way it looks is just so just ominous, and like why is he in a big giant suit like that? Why, And when I was younger, I always thought that there were actual underground or underwater like oil refineries like that or something. Like I just thought that's how it worked, like Leviathan is like straight up like aliens underwater, and I thought that's what I was like, that's how they do it. I want to do that when I grow up. But this poster I just love. I love the way it looks. So
yeah, it's a good one. Number 4, you had actually 2 versions of this, I believe.
That's the one I remember with the blinking eyes.
Yeah, I just added the other one because it's like ultra pervy, and that's what this movie is ultra pervy. Like, I mean, it's got the other poster. Yeah, that one. It's it's so silly because the first one you showed, the reason why I put that in is because I would always go to the video store different video stores trying to find one of them that I don't know if you guys remember how this VHS box was, but the eyes lit up.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but they were always broken. I wanted to see one not broken so bad, but they got like destroyed in shipping. So like every single zombie face that with the light up eyes was broken. It was just destroyed. But I do like the movie. It's funny, but the other poster is hilarious because they're, once again, I was probably watching things that I shouldn't have been watching when I was that young, like fourth grade, and I'm watching a girl with massively surgically altered parts of her body. Like it's like I don't know how to say it. This like it's just big giant tits, and she gets shot with a and she gets shot with a fire hose in that scene, and her whole top gets ripped off. And but the guys at the video store, they were like, "Oh, he's just the kid from across the street, so just let him rent whatever he wants," So I'd be bringing home this stuff and putting it in, and my stepdad, he worked third shift, so he would be sleeping, and I'd get home from school, I'd pop a movie in, and it didn't matter what it was. It was just all sorts of insanity, and that's where my love of horror movies comes from. So,
Nice. Hey, nothing wrong with
it's exactly right, though. It doesn't matter what the fucking movie is. It was the box or the DVD cover or VHS cover. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's though that one really stuck with me, man. All the time trying to find the one that without a broken face. I wanted to see how that damn thing looked.
Dude, they had two of them. I mean, we had 2 or 3 independents around. They all had it, and they all worked perfectly.
Oh man,
dude. I mean, not a crinkle on that box because it had kind of a lifted, almost like that old Halloween costume that in the box. That
yes,
it would push in and stuff when you pushed on it.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
When I worked at Blockbuster, if the lights did not work on the box for this movie, I would order another one.
Nice.
I would just send it back and say, "Hey, I need another one."
Right.
Another one put in.
They knew that movie sucked. That was the only way anybody was going to rent that motherfucker.
They were like, put some lights in that box. No, I think it had more to do with that girl getting shot with a fire hose. That was the selling point of that movie.
Well, that's the resale value or the re-rent value.
Right. I own it on Blu-ray just for that scene.
All right, number 3 for you is Night of the Demons.
Yeah, that's such a great. Now this movie, I truly love. I really just like the way it plays itself, and it's done. You can tell it's done in such a low budget, but it's so effective on so many levels. But this poster or this cover, when I saw it at the video rental store, I remember reading that, and the little caption there, it's like, Freddy and Jason were too scared to come or whatever. And I thought that was so clever, like putting little jabs in there, and usually when a movie does something like that, it's not a good movie per se, but like this one, once again, my fourth grade self watching Angela dance to Bauhaus was I didn't know what was going on, man. I was way too young for that, but
just lean in and enjoy it.
Yeah, right. Just let it go, Oh yeah, and the lipstick trick for sure. The lipstick trick is it's Leanna Quigley or Linnea, sorry, but yeah, doing that lipstick trick is also forever burned into my brain.
Yeah,
I get it.
That'll be there forever. Number 2 for you is Night of the Creeps.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I picked this. They had this poster, and I seem to remember there was a lot of different covers for this movie, but this one in particular, I don't know who the artist is, but just that painting is so cool to me. Just that they were able to just make that movie just look so insane, you know, with the hand busting into the door, and just that I love that so much that I had the movie on Blu-ray, but I bought it again on DVD just to have that picture. So,
That artwork.
yeah,
It's on that new one they put out a couple years ago with the Tom Atkins action figure. It had that one if you flipped it over, but I always saw the one with the boyfriend, the zombie looking through the glass and everything. That's the one that I was like, oh yeah, you know, that's I'll always think of that one first, but I dug that one too. That one was really fucking cool.
and I also think we didn't know what we were missing back when all this stuff was coming out, because now, you know, they were before Scream Factory put out that new one. You know, there was like a bargain bin Walmart version, and it was like the worst photoshopped you know, kind of head like floating head type Photoshop, and it just looked so bad. It was so bad. I was like, man, I love this movie, but I don't want to buy it because of this cover. So yeah,
that
$3.
cover can't be any worse than the cover for Trick or Treat, where they just put Gene Simmons and Ozzy on it.
Yes,
It's like,
yes.
what the hell?
Dude, I've never seen that movie, and I want to watch it so bad. Because I've never seen that movie. I want to watch it, and I don't. Yeah,
Please watch it. Well, wait a minute. Are you any kind of metal or fan at all? Hard music?
No, I'm into you know, metal music for sure. But
all right, say no more. Watch the movie. Knock it off already, man. You're killing me over here.
Dude, the trailer is really cool for that one. It's like you know, it's got Sammy Kerr, and he's like kind of like slapping his leg, you know, to the music, and it's like it's really cool trailer, and I've never seen that movie. I don't know why I can't seem to find it on, you know, streaming services.
It's not available on right now. Whoever holding the rights, they're trying to, you know, muscle everyone, trying to get top dollar for it. You know, I mean, but
right?
Nobody wants to pay $35 to see a movie from 1986 like that.
I'm just saying, I found my copy used at FYE for $3
Nice.
Mine was a 4-pack with The Gate, The Wraith, and one of the, you know, the three of them are good, and one of them was a piece of shit, and I don't even know what it is. It was a 4-pack though, but it had that Gene Simmons, Ozzy floating heads, like you like to say.
Once again, I saw that Gene Simmons Ozzy heads, and I was like, I don't want to watch that. But then you watch the trailer for it, and you're like, man, that looks pretty good.
It's fantastic. It's got, you know, Mark Price, you know, he's Skippy from Family Ties. He's in it. It's fucking great, man. It's a great watch. It's just fun. It's cheesy, but it's fucking fun, man.
That's what I like. That's what I like.
You can find a full version of it on YouTube, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called Ragman on YouTube if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
Ragman. Okay, I'll check it out.
Yep.
All right, and number 1 for you.
Oh,
There's the Fog.
Fog. That movie poster is just phenomenal. Like everything about it. Just I love the pose. That one really got to me. You know, like the idea of they're ghosts, but they're, you know, zombies, and they're pirates. It's crazy. I like the movie. I like that. I really love that poster. It's it just captures so much so well.
that's one of the movies. I mean, it is a bit of a mess, that movie, but I still love it.
Yeah, totally.
I love it, man. But it pisses me off because I couldn't put that poster on my list for some reasons. But I mean, I'm happy to see you did. I'll just say that.
This is one of those weird nights where none of us have any overlap. You know, there's no thunder stealing going on.
No thunder stealing, so it don't matter who goes next either.
Very good list there,
Let's do
Corey.
this. We're
Well,
gonna-
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, the golf clap always trumps the studio applause. So yes,
That's right.
golf claps.
We had somebody send in a list here. Dave did. Dave Smithson says his are Jason Lives, Nightmare on Elm Street, Pet Cemetery, Halloween, and Jaws.
Wonderful. And
And
Perfect.
honorable mentions, Final Chapter, and The Thing. That's right.
The final chapter. What's that one? What's that one about?
oh, you'll see in a
Friday
minute.
the 13th.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pretty good.
Oh, the final chapter. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And Ariel says, checked out the shop. She loves these scary stories to tell in Derry, Maine.
Oh yes.
So
Thank you. Thank you
I
very
didn't-
much.
We didn't show any of the scary stories to tell, but he had a whole bunch of them, and a lot of them are clever to tell in whatever situation. To tell in the fog, to tell on Halloween.
Hotel. That's
Right.
the one I think I picked up.
I did those scary stories just thinking people there are some people, like, it's hard for me to understand this, but there are some people that like horror movies, but they don't like comic books. And that was a revelation for me a couple of years back. I was like, oh, like, people don't like everything I like, so so the scary stories thing was like a completely different animal. I was like, for people that don't like comic books, they can check these ones out. But thank you for checking out my store.
See, mine is right there. It's scary stories to tell in the fog.
So,
Yes.
No, to be fair, originally that was mine,
It was.
but I traded it for the Monster Squad one.
I had the Monster Squad, and I gave it to him, and then. Although I know I'm looking at, do you use some kind of a filter on those where it looks like there's a coffee ring or something?
On some of them, yeah.
Okay, so there you go, Colonel. I thought my deodorant or my toothpaste or something busted open in my suitcase because I was like, "Fuck, it's got this ring on it." I didn't see that before. But then as I was printing these tonight, getting this ready for the show, I went, "Oh, wait a minute! There's that same ring on a couple other prints." So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It must be a Photoshop thing there.
That came for yeah, coffee rings are free.
Nice.
No extra
Good.
for those. S. Michael has a list as well. He goes, number 5, The Exorcist. Number 4, Friday the 13th. Number 3, Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors. Number 2, Return of the Living Dead. Honorable mentions, the 76 King Kong.
Nice.
The Dead Zone, I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
And one, hands down, Jaws. Does not get any more iconic. Even got a tattoo of it on my arm. Probably been parodied more than any other poster. Very much so, yeah.
For sure. I love the 76 Kong. Yeah, I don't know if the one he's talking about is the one I'm thinking of, the one where he's on the Twin Towers.
Yes.
That painting, I have a huge poster print of that. It's like 40 by 40 inches. And I love that painting so much. It's like crashing the space shuttle. It's so awesome.
That was an iconic one. I didn't even think of that one. It's just another one I could add to my list of like, what the fuck, man.
Yeah, I try to hit some that were a little weird.
If I was ever going to have any number 6s in my list, I would have like 48 number 6s in this list. Good Lord. There were so many posters. And this was the hardest list I've had to like focus and try to figure out for a while. But I'm going to try
literally
to my list.
pissed me off.
I know. We're saving you for last so you can do your
right. It's fine. You may be disappointed. I don't know. So I went a different route with it, man, because I was burning brain cells trying to figure this shit out. I had to get on this shit early, and I told Crank, I went, dude, this is it, because I'm gonna kill everybody in my house if I don't get this off my plate. It's driving me.
I got his list last Tuesday.
Yeah, man, I was freaking out.
I don't want to think about this anymore.
It was hurt. It was actually hurting me. So I was like, fuck this, man. I picked 5. I think they're 5 good ones, but I'll get to my barometer why I picked what I did when I get there. Let's go with who's next.
I'm next, actually. I picked the ones that kind of affected me when I saw them and when I was younger, and like got my attention. But number 5 for me is The Exorcist. It's just such a stark imagery. You're wondering, what the hell is that light? Why is that light so fucking strong? Who the hell is this guy standing out there in the middle of the street, like just with a briefcase or whatever? What the hell is up there? Why does he need to go? Great poster from my memories. Number 4 is kind of like, has the same kind of thing that you just mentioned. You know, Freddie and Jason couldn't attend the party at Angela's. It has a similar ring to this because it says, you just made it through Halloween. Now see if you can get through Christmas. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I love that. I love that poster. So awesome.
This is one of the creepiest fucking things, but it's also the perfect encapsulation of what you would see as a killer Santa Claus. I can't think of a better way to portray this in a poster. And that's why it always stuck out in my head. Number 3 for me, this one, I knew I wanted to include it, but I was like, shit, what is that movie? What is that movie? I was trying to remember it. It's one of those posters that almost breaks the third wall and you don't realize it's doing it, but it does. Hold on. All right. Much better. It's The Hitcher.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a good one.
Just, you know, the imagery alone of the road and the silhouette and the shadow of the guy, you know, the hitchhiker on the road is cool. But then you throw the rear view mirror in there and it's got that point of view perspective now. And it's so cool the way they did it. And it was so simple, but it was always one of those that I was just kind of like, even as a kid, I was like, that's a pretty fucking cool poster because it looks like fun looking at it.
Right.
That's another one. That's one of the ones that I rented a lot from the tag hanging on the hook video store. And rest in peace, Rutger Hauer, man, because it's one of his better roles.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Damn yes.
Definitely. Number 2 is an art campaign that kind of got yanked partway through what they were doing, but it's the very specific poster from Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, but it's the I Heart New York one.
Best thing about that fucking movie.
I loved this poster, man. When it came out, I was just like, that's fucking beautiful. Now, granted, the movie only spends like 10 minutes in New York, which fucking sucks, but I loved this poster because, you know, in the 80s, the I Heart New York shirts were everywhere. You saw them everywhere. And this, to capitalize on that, and like we were talking about earlier with your giant comics and them ripping through the page, has that same kind of a similar effect on it.
Right.
I always dug that. And
yeah, that movie, it took a long time for that boat ride from a lake to New York.
Yeah, from a lake, hopped over land somehow, and then.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking there, but I still love it.
Oh, it's
that ending, man, dude.
The ending. Yeah,
I just can't.
You don't like the hand puppet Jason? Like at the end when he
turns
takes
into
his mask off and
a baby and shit, man. Just dude,
the baby Muppet. It was like a Muppet baby version of Jason.
Yeah.
It feels amazing when he turns back into a little kid. He has like a head full of hair and shit. It's like, what the fuck? They gave the kid like one prosthetic fake eye. Like, here you go.
I don't know. Maybe they ran out of fucking money or whatever. Just ran out of time, and it was just, you know what? We need to just get this real quick. Oh, that's good. Let's go. Looks great.
He's like a color change Hot Wheel. It's like if he touched water, even though he was slimy and stuff, like on the boat, like he got out of the water, and then they hit him with the water at the end, and it was like, I don't. The logic here is kind of skewed, but whatever.
I stand by my claim that was the blatant money grab. If they were ever doing one in this series, that was it.
And also keep in mind, it was a studio movie in the 80s, and cocaine is a hell of a drug.
They were pumping Jason movies out too. I mean, every year it was like, right? Am I right on that? It was like every year a new one was coming out.
Yeah,
like break in '82. I think that's like the only year one didn't come out.
Yeah,
81 with part 2, and then part 3 and 83, part 4 and 84, 5 and 85. Right, it went right 6 and 86. Went right down the line. I think 87 was
87.
New Blood.
No,
87. 87. It was 88 or 89.
No, 88 was New Blood, and then 89 was
88 was New Blood.
Yeah.
Either way, they were making movies really, really fast.
Boom, boom, boom.
That was the first time I was pissed off, though, walking out. I was like, really?
Oh, yeah.
As the flaws of that movie are there, but I love that slimy Jason look. I love how he's just really gross. I like that.
It's just the ending that really fucks it up for me. I mean, that ending really, really fucks it up for me. I mean,
there's a lot of weird things in there that make you scratch your head because it's like, I'm trying to remember. I haven't watched that movie in a long time, but doesn't he like put one guy in like basically a toxic waste barrel?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like there's toxic waste barrels just chilling in New York. Like,
well, that's what I mean. It was bad all the way around. The propaganda, it was bad publicity for the state, you know.
Yeah. Well, and my number one should be, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. Nightmare on Elm Street. This poster has everything in it that you need to know about this movie. It's got this ethereal look. It's got the girl in the bed. It's got almost coming out of the picture frame at you, the glove and everything. And it's a nightmare of a poster. And I love the fact that they use the same artist throughout the run of movies too, which I thought was a pretty cool thing to do. But
oh yeah, all of them have that same awesome feel. Yeah. That artist, I don't know his name, but man, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now either. But that is my top 5.
I remember seeing that one, man. I remember seeing Nightmare on Elm Street, and just I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what is this, you know. I mean,
yeah, I know.
And I kind of just glossed past it because of that. I'm now granted the movie, yes, it's fucking one of the best of all time.
No, when I saw that movie when I saw that poster back in the 80s, no, I was just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but I have to see that. I do remember that.
Well, it just made it all the more like shocking to me when I did go see it. It was like. And that name, I was like, I'll never, ever not know the name Fred Krueger. You know, I mean, after walking out of that first movie, I knew.
I love doing this to you guys. Just so you know, a heads up, that movie came out like a month before I was even born.
Shut up, Colonel. Exactly.
I love to fuck with them.
That's brutal. Brutal.
I was 13, man.
I don't know why, but it was well deserved as well.
Yeah.
It was.
Take your jabs while you can.
I do.
Dave says, because they cruised to Vancouver. That's why it took so long. That movie blows. Speaking of Jason Takes Manhattan. And then Ariel has a list on here. 5, Ghost Ship. 4, Arachnophobia. That's a good poster, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3, Rose Red. 2, Creep Show.
Yeah.
And number 1, Evil Dead.
Very nice. Ghost Ship's a fucking phenomenal pull. Well done, Ariel. That's a good one.
That is.
Even though the movie beyond the first 10 minutes is not so good, it is one of the best opening scenes you'll ever see in a horror.
Yeah, they really shot themselves in the foot making that amazing opening sequence. I remember my jaw was on the ground in the theater. I'm just like, what did I just watch? This is going to be the best movie of all time. And then it just does not capture that after that part. But that part is awesome.
Yeah.
And the poster, like we said, it doesn't reflect the quality of the movie.
No. Again, the poster's way better than what you get in the actual screen. Big Colonel is up here with his list here.
Yeah. Colonel.
All right, so I apologize in advance. This is usually when the cat has the house to herself.
She's
so
zooming.
she's losing her shit playing toys and everything else. We're getting extremely fucking loud.
She's got like one of those one-man band things. She's got like a drum and a cymbal or something.
No, apparently my 4-year-old left a very hard plastic toy underneath the dining room table, and that is what she's playing with right now.
Loves it.
Wow.
Like I said, usually this is when I'm in bed, so she can do whatever else she. Hold on, let me get that away from her.
All right.
Take her off.
A cat.
Go somewhere else. Okay.
Fascinating.
All right. Yeah, this is very tough. I mean, kind of like Cory, I have the same story when it comes to Night of the Demons. The cover, especially Night of the Demons. Son of a bitch. Sorry. Night of the Demons 2, that cover also loved it. Because you go to the video rental store.
The cat's waiting for you to talk at every.
I almost want to put Colonel Solo just so
I mean, we're dealing with some pussy here, so
there you go.
Okay.
All right.
So, yes, I picked movies based on the VHS cover. However, this is not my niche. The movies have stuck with me more than the covers. So I wouldn't even necessarily my top 5 or my top 5 favorites. I would say this just the style of artwork alone is kind of why I went with my top 5. So coming in at number 5, very simple, Halloween. It just really stands out. It's simple artwork. That's why I think I like it so much. There's way better than this. I mean, hell, fucking Maniac is one of them, off the top of my head. I just really like the simplicity of it.
Yeah,
It's an effective artwork.
Yeah,
I like that the like everything kind of meshes into the pumpkin, like the knuckles, the knife kind of makes the teeth of the pumpkin. So I like all that. It's neat how they mesh that together.
yeah. I mean, everybody says like, oh, the face and the hand. That's cool, but if you guys also notice, I mean, what I really like about it is the light on the pumpkin matches up with the fucking knuckles. Like it's just like I said, simple but effective. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got that motion effect too.
Mhm.
You know, I like that.
It's a brilliant poster. Of course it is.
Coming in at number 4, just classy. Classy. I mean, fuck. Once you see it, you'll understand why. House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, nice.
Come on, man. Look at that. This is fucking sweet. You got Vincent Price just killing it, just chilling. I mean, I like it. It's the artwork is phenomenal to me. It's getting late. I'll rush through this. Number 3. Hopefully, Crank replaced it like I requested. Fright Night. He did.
Nice.
Again, just I love the fact the face mixed in with the clouds coming over the house, and I mean, as a kid, I see that. I gotta watch it. I gotta fucking watch it. Little do I know. I mean, that's Brewster's girlfriend, and you only see that face for 5 fucking seconds in the entire movie.
Unforgettable, though.
Very unforgettable.
And on my list,
Number 6.
Shut up.
And coming in at number 2, The Evil Dead. Okay. We go back to the simplicity of it. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed. I didn't notice. I think it's already been pulled off because it's on Shudder now. But apparently they edited out the hand coming out of the ground choking her for HBO Max.
Really?
That's what I heard, but I never double checked. I was like, I doubt it.
See, that's why physical copies. Gotta have physical copies. They can't edit it when you have a physical copy.
No, I agree completely. It was that's why I hate fucking streaming services.
Some chicks are into that choking thing, man.
Huh?
I said some chicks are into that choking thing.
No, I know. I knew a few of them in my time on this earth. But
I wish I had my old Laserdisc copies of the Star Wars original trilogy, because they were still letterboxed and everything on Laserdisc, and you could see like the stuff that they went back in later on and digitally enhanced. But
Yeah.
it was before all that.
Yeah, my first collection, the original trilogy, was unfortunately the digitally enhanced trilogy box, VHS box set. I wore those fuckers out though.
90s for like a pretty good penny, but.
And anyway, we digress. To number one, probably my favorite Frankenstein movie, but this artwork is just fucking beautiful. The Bride of Frankenstein. I just think it's such a beautiful piece of work, man.
It is.
It's, again, there's probably tons out there I would say I like better. But man, this artwork is just hard to come by. And I honestly didn't want the same shit these other guys fucking had, so I tried to find something that I knew they wouldn't fucking have. Like House on Haunted Hill and The Bride of Frankenstein.
That's a great piece of art for sure.
It is.
It's timeless, and I just love how, like, the hair kind of looks like the flames, and it's just super fucking cool. I love it, and it screams the fucking 30s. Like, I actually want to buy that now. After looking at it again, like, I'd kind of like to have a print of that.
Yeah,
certainly had that horror hound. I'll bet
that one guy might.
Yeah,
that's it. Like I said, this was fucking tough, and unfortunately, like I said, movie posters, not my thing. I appreciate them, but I can't go in depth like probably Cory and Zigzag can about them. Where I can dive deep in these fucking movies with you all day. That's what I remember more than the cover. The cover got me to watch it, but the cover didn't stick like the special effects and the story and everything else. So this is pretty tough for me,
dude. It's a fine fucking list, man.
And again, one more thing. I'm with Cory. Buy physical fucking media. You do not edit fucking art.
Yeah, for sure.
I try to. All right, Ziggy. Last one.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, due to time constraints, I'm gonna omit my rant I had prepared for this. But this was bullshit, man. I've seen too many fucking movies, and to try to narrow it down to 5, my whole fucking life, 50 years old, and I've been going to movies since 6, 7 years old, seeing horror movies. I have a lot, dude, and I had to shit on many things I love to get this list together. And in the end, I threw it up in the air and just went, all right, I'm going with the ones upon first sight, the poster. Mm-hmm. I went, holy fuck. It gave me that nervousness in my stomach. Like, this is going to be scary to sit in a theater and watch this.
Care Bears.
These are the ones that I went with, yes. Care Bears. What I chose.
Care Bears.
Care Bears. Absolutely. But it's listen. I don't know, man. A lot of these, it's crazy. I'm looking at the list now, and this fucking thing could flip and be completely different next week. I don't know, but I left off. But this is the official ranking. This is the show. This is what we're doing. Number 5, it is The Howling. Come on, man.
Oh yeah,
that is some scary shit right there. And the movie, yeah. They're on par, I think, but it don't matter. We're not talking about that. This was a design that I remember just standing in the lobby at the movie theater, staring at this fucking thing and just going, man, what is going on back there? Why is she screaming like that? I had to know, you know. I mean, it was fucking 10-year-old me.
I could say a hot take about The Howling. You guys might all hate me for it. I like the transformation sequence in The Howling more than American Werewolf.
No, that's cool, man. I
do. I think the lighting and it's cool that they do it all like, you know, bright lights and stuff. But the effect in The Howling, it's more scary in my opinion.
That was one of the first times they did that bladder effect thing under the skin.
Yes.
So, yes, very effective. Eddie, the character, the serial killer werewolf, fucking phenomenal, man. That story I wish would have been expanded a little bit more, or maybe more focused on that. Would have been a better film. But we're not here to fuck with The Howling. It's fine. The poster is fucking amazing, and it's number 5 on this list. Number 4. Why not keep it at 4? The Final Chapter. You know it. This is the one you've been dying for. And there it is, Jason. And looking at that same thing, it's like, oh my God, look at that. There's that hockey mask, the blood. It's simple.
Who would dare stick a knife in that hockey mask?
Dude, I mean, I was ramped up to see this by the time this was coming. And I love the fact that they were coming out every year at this point, too. So, and I saw this in the theater by my fucking self at 13 years old. And it was a terrifying experience to deal with that. I think this is why, to me, to this day still, Jason is that version, Ted White, the most intimidating and terrifying Jason ever be put on film. And that's all I got to say about that. Go ahead, Corey.
The movie I was trying to think of was The Final Countdown. When you originally said the final chapter, I was like, I don't think I've seen that. It's like The Final Countdown.
I remember that too, man. Okay, these last three. Yeah, number 3. Man, it's not really horror. I guess it is body horror in a way as we go with Cronenberg. But Scanners, man.
Yes.
Look at this shit.
Awesome.
And they caught it. And this is actually in the film, which I loved. This part of it, you know. Michael Ironside made the cover in full scan mode, being scanned as he's scanning. It's fucking great. It's such a mindfuck movie. The one guy can't act, but we forgive him. We just let it go because it does have some great fucking effects in it, man. And it's just a trip that, yeah, I can get you to do what I want just by looking at you and staring. Scanners. That poster, haunting and absolutely terrifying. Colonel, he's back. There he is.
I'm right here.
All right.
Number
2. Move it along here so get going. I saw this again. This came out leading up to it. The poster was there, and it was another one. You just stood there and stared at it, just taking in every detail of it. And the movie's gritty and dark, and this one kind of supports it, man. A little bit depressing, even if you want to go that way. But Maniac, William Lustig, man, look at that shit. It just screams. That's going to be a scary movie. You know, just look at it.
Of course it's going to be scary. Look how close he has that knife to his fucking heart on, man.
I know, dude, and he's all chubbed up and everything. And that's something I never even noticed until, even we're talking about taking in all the details. That was something I overlooked at that time in 1980 when we saw this poster the first time. But I still love that image, and I do love the movie too. But the poster, iconic, probably more so than the actual movie is.
Leave it to
And
Colonel
finally,
to notice that, though.
What's that?
Leave it to Colonel to notice that.
Of course. You didn't.
I'll be honest. I never noticed that until now. I'm like, that's amazing. The creators of that poster were probably like, I can't believe we got this in video stores across the country.
They went on to work for artwork for Disney movies.
Right. Little Mermaid was Little Mermaid Palace.
That was their next one.
And this last one, my number one, and again, man, so many others that it could have made. Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, several of the earlier Friday the 13th, 2, 3, the first one. A lot of this shit, man. I had to. Phantasm. It goes on and on and on. It was driving me insane. But again, this one, I saw the poster, and then I was like, wow, okay, cool, And then I didn't know anything about this. I went and saw this in a double feature, and was scarred for life. Here it was called something else. The rest of the world called it City of the Living Dead. Here we called it The Gates of Hell. And that's the poster. Now, this poster design was ripped off by a lot of independent, VHS companies. This picture appeared in a lot of things. Twilight of the Dead. There's a whole bunch of shit that used that image. But this is the real McCoy. And if you've seen the movie, you fucking know. Father Thomas, yes. And that poster got me before the movie, and then after it, coming out of it, I was just like, Jesus Christ. It's another one I'm never going to forget. Scarred. Full scars. And yes.
That is a brutal film.
I love it. And that's what got me. I had seen Zombie before this, but this one made me a full-blown Fulci fanatic, seeing this.
Fulci's second best film.
Stop.
I say about The Beyond being his best film.
Stop. Colonel, I gotta do it.
That's fine.
I love The Beyond. I do love The Beyond, but it does. The special effects do not hold a candle to anything that happens in City of the Living Dead.
Nice list, Ziggy.
Yeah.
I will die on that mountain, Colonel.
So will I. We've been debating that topic for 4 fucking years now.
We're gonna have to have like a debate. Maybe when we get to the next election season, we can debate the Beyond or City of the Living Dead. Pick your side.
House by the Cemetery.
Very good.
Dave says the covers that always stick with me are my old Hustler mags. Well, of course they are, Dave.
No, those are good.
Those are good.
Those are
Considering
good.
the fact that that's all he can look at anymore is the covers because those pages are all
Right.
stuck together.
Yeah, you can't open the books anymore. Luke says horror movies or horror posters that made me want to watch the movie. Number 1, Jaws. Number 2, House by the Cemetery. Number 3, Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 4, Child's Play 2. And number 5, Maniac. Interesting. Very nice.
That's a good list,
Well,
Luke.
Yeah, very
Child's
nice.
Play too. That's a good poster.
That is a good poster. Man, Cory,
I know.
appreciate
Man.
you coming on, man. What's the
thank
next
you so
con you're
much.
going to?
Yeah, we're heading next.
I'm doing a couple of local shows around here. Ohio Fan Fest is in May. It's got Texas Chainsaw 2 reunion. Bill Mosley will be there. And then it has a whole lot of wrestlers. I'm a huge wrestling fan. So as a fan, I'm going. I gotta meet Jake the Snake. Nice. Yep, I gotta get him to sign my Jake the Snake action figure, and so that'll be a fun one. It's in Girard, Ohio. So it's a cool little town, but it's a nice venue. So I'm excited for that one. And then a couple of like Cleveland haunted garage sale and halfway to Halloween shows. The halfway to Halloween show will be I think it's in June, but it's huge. It's a outside show. It's one of the only outside shows I do because I don't particularly poster prints and outside don't mix well.
Don't blow away.
Yeah, my whole tent blew away one time. I totally Mary Poppins'd it. I grabbed onto the tent thinking that would help, but it pulled me with it. So it was.
Well,
Yeah,
Chimaroo.
Yeah, I was gone.
We wanted to get into your wrestling, stories a little bit and your fandom of that too, but just ran out of time. Maybe next time, because I know you did some stuff for Danhausen from AEW and stuff like that. So, but again, we'll save that for next time. We'll get into that stuff too. So you're a fascinating fella, man.
Oh, thanks.
Now, I know they haven't said anything out yet, but are you going to try to come back to Horror Hound in September?
Yeah, I always want to make it to Horror Hound, but though I'm not sure if I'm in yet. I gotta message the guys and see if I can purchase my table again. The spot where I was, when I saw you guys this last time around, I was really happy because I was right next to Lunar Crypt, and Lunar Crypt is like, he is one of the artists that like I looked up to. Man, he is just the coolest guy. We talked about 80s cartoons and wrestling all weekend long, so he was like the best booth neighbor I could have had. So
Nice.
If I do Horror Hound in September, I'm hoping to be right next to him again because that was a good spot.
Yeah, we when we had that booth in Indianapolis, we were right next to Atomic Cotton.
Oh, those guys are great.
They're great, But I also brought my full size Michael Myers animatronic, so it looped the Halloween theme for about 6 hours before I finally went over and unplugged it. And I heard him go like, "Thank God."
Oh yeah,
I was like, "Sorry, dude,"
Was it Zach and Erica?
Yeah, made eye contact. Like, thank God.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, dude. So we were off shooting shit and recording stuff, so we weren't standing by there the whole time.
Right.
That's awesome.
But Cory,
Well, cool.
man, fuck yeah, thanks for coming on, man. I mean,
No, thank you guys.
Yeah.
It was great talking to you. I don't get my family hates it when I talk horror movies and stuff, so it's fun to get with you guys and have a conversation about stuff we love.
I feel like we could go for another couple hours with other different stories and shit.
Probably.
I know, 'cause you have a project maybe we can get you back on when your project you're working on gets up and off the ground. I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have time to tonight.
Real
Yeah,
quick,
yeah.
just mention the cards if you would, and we can
Yeah,
leave it with that.
You know, I'm always trying to recapture that,
Wait,
that fun.
Colonel, hold it.
Oh, nice.
There it is, baby. The
There's
new
a
file
flare.
consumption joint coming soon.
Yeah, I'm always trying to mix new ways to for the horror comic book stuff, you know. So trading cards seem to be the next logical step in the evolution of what I'm doing. So and it's really fun. I'm getting to draw a lot of characters that you know, maybe I don't get to make a full poster of, but super obscure stuff. I have about 210 trading cards planned. So if I get there, it will really all depend on how much people like them, I guess, if I should continue, because I'm making these all by hand. I'll print them out. I'm cutting them all down, you know, and so we'll see how it goes. But first 3 waves, I think, are going to come out sometime this summer.
Nice.
There you have it, man.
I'm looking
File
forward to that,
consumption.
sure.
Just Google it. You'll get right to his page and his store, and you can pick up some of this stuff. I mean, there's, like he said, he's got prints all over the fucking place of all different kinds. He's been doing this several years. Something in there you want, I guarantee it.
Right.
So go check that shit out, man. Say hi to Cory.
Yeah.
You get to the cons, look him up. He'll chat you up. You can talk wrestling. He'll talk fucking cartoons, Saturday morning shit. He's got it covered. And just a hell of a guy, man. Glad to know
Thank you.
him, glad to be a friend. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Find him on social media too: Facebook, Instagram, also Twitter, I believe. Right?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter now.
Yep.
I don't quite. I'm like, I feel like an old man on there. I don't quite understand it, and I don't feel like I'm really talking to anybody. But I'm posting stuff on there now too.
Same here, man. We're not very good on Twitter yet.
All these fucking guys talking about feeling like an old man. It's starting to really, really piss me off. I'm telling you.
Well, Cory, we're going to let you go, and
Yeah,
you know, we will see you hopefully in September, if not before.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks
Have
for
you fun.
joining us tonight.
Thank you so much. Have a good one, guys.
There he goes.
Cory Holliday, ladies and gentlemen, from Vile Consumption. That was awesome. I love talking
That's
about
fun.
stuff like that. I wanted to get more into it with him though, man, because there were so many things I didn't even get to ask him. because
Yeah,
they
we
were-
didn't even touch on the wrestling. It's not that you're a big a fan of wrestling, but it's just the fact that he's
No,
worked
but-
with some of these up and coming guys, has drawn stuff
Right.
for him and everything. I wanted to get into that, but hey,
Yeah, we'll
we
definitely.
barely
have
got
to-
into our topic tonight. I don't even think we needed a
I know.
topic.
Yeah. All right. Last time I want to mention thanks again to our final girls and guys: Cory, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, S. Michael, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone, and our Crazy Rouse, Angelo and Raymond, and our camp counselors, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave. Colonel, send them out for the night.
All right, I'm going to make this short and sweet because I really got to go to bed soon. That one of those cats losing their fucking mind. Don't get sick, wash your dick, and don't smell like a Scuba Steve. You, Summer's Eve.
That's right. There was one more list that came through here. James Grimmer. Number 5, Living in the Dead. Number 4, The Diabolical Dr. Z. Number 3, The Cemetery of Terror. Number 2, Short Night of Glass Dolls. And number 1, Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker.
This guy just spent the last 2 hours putting a list together that nobody heard of and nobody saw these pictures, but I knew it, and I fucking appreciate it, man.
James,
And now
send us
I got to go look those up now, of course,
Yeah.
just to see if I've
Right.
seen them before.
send us the message on Facebook, buddy, if you can, with those movie posters, because I really want to see those.
Yeah. All right, Ziggy, send them out.
I'll keep it short and sweet, man. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm actually not sure what we got coming up. I'm sure it's maybe another
No
year.
idea.
We'll figure it out.
No idea.
But it's just been great. Love talking to the people in the horror game like we are and doing stuff like it and creating. We just got more to come, man. And it's stay with us. Death Curse Society only going up.
That's right. Tune in next Monday. Like he said, we don't know what we're talking about yet, but we will figure out a topic here in the next couple days. So, for the Colonel, for Zigzag, yeah, I'm keeping it real short tonight. Thanks for tuning in. DCS out. We'll catch you next week. Woo!